I'll work on shorter answers.
I really appreciate when you were talking about the consultations about the mission of the church and bringing in volunteers, the gifts God gives us, and how I reflected that back as you really look at the gifts of the volunteer staff. How can we truly utilize these gifts so that they truly feel that their discipleship is really help drawing the parish families together. And so I look forward to, I just wanted to comment on that and look forward to hearing more from you and others in respect to the importance of volunteers and not how can we get them and how can we draw them in to seek their wisdom and their discipleship and helping each parish so that as a whole, the diocese, the body is strengthened. That makes sense.
It does. Yeah, calling forth gifts. What happens when you have more gifts and you have the slots for volunteers? That is a key piece that I'll address later, because it means that part of consultation, part of our conversation as heads and bodies, is to put to work the gifts that we weren't planning on, the gifts that are unique. But we have to begin with that understanding that every member of our parish communities has a right and an obligation to participate more than just on Sundays. And so sometimes that challenges us to look at different ways the apostolate can include gifts that we weren't prepared for receiving. It's one of the great challenges for pastoral council, but it's exciting. When you're dealing with gifts that the people have offered, and now we're creating opportunities in the apostolate based on those gifts. We have this model of I need and you have. You know, the good news, bad news. The good news is we have every dollar we need for the capital campaign. The bad news, it's in your pocket. So we're used to doing this I need, you have. We really need to switch that around. That in praying together, we recognize our giftedness. Every person, every child of God, without exception, has been given gifts. And so now, rather than I need and you have, let's bring those together. How about we have? Now, where do we bring these gifts together that we've identified, that we've called into participation in the apostolate, into serving the gospel of Jesus Christ, into serving unity in the mystical body that is the church? I'll be saying
over here, Brad. Okay. Just a quick question. You covered it somewhat already, and I think I'll get into it more. But when you said that, I so oftentimes think of how our Blessed Lord said, "This is a stiff-necked people." And so that was our general thing. How do we keep connecting?
Conference 3. That's the last one today, so if you're here all day today, you'll see that. But briefly, it is cartilage. Cartilage is face-to-face meetings in conversation. Our first conversation is together with God in prayer. Our second conversation is mission. Our third conversation is swatting killer bees. But it's that cushiony material that keeps the neck from flopping forward and navel-gazing, but also keeps it from being so rigid that we can't see, if you will, the road in front of us. We're looking at some distant goal, and then we tend to trip over most obstacles in our world. So it's the cartilage.
In this world today, relativism permeates everything.
the truth is the truth. And yet, as a body of revelation in Christ, we do have challenges in this time to, where do we focus our proclamation of the truth? So we have to center ourselves in the gospel. That's a huge topic. Many are commenting and writing on it. God bless them all. For this our gathering, I sincerely believe that our unity and our joy in being Catholic is our first face to the world today. It is something that nothing else in this world can give. It comes to us from Jesus. And when we find our unity and we are joyful in living out our faith, even those who have walked away will take a second look just to figure out what makes us so happy. So we have to watch out that the debates, even dissension, does not turn us into grumpy curmudgeons that find our need to always argue and be in battle. There is a battle against evil, no doubt. But it is to recognize, I think, that each chapter of the church moves through a particular context. And I would put out for you and your prayerful consideration that in this context, at this time, unity, being one, and joy are starkly different than what the world is offering. And I hope that witness, I pray, and hope is not finger crossed, hope is a virtue. So I hope and pray that will be part of our revitalization in the mission of the church, is that people want to know, first, how do we find unity? Second, what makes us happy? And then to draw them through stages of learning into a deeper understanding of the truth that should not be this. There are people, many of us here, who are Catholics because we don't have to put our finger into the wind to see what we believe. That our teachings, the revelation of Jesus, are set. And now we have to live them out in very creative and challenging ways. But all around us, in many, many, many other walks of faith, there are synods and conventions and gatherings to decide what to believe. We don't gather to figure out what we believe. We gather to figure out how to carry it out and how to do so in today's world. But that's a deep question that I didn't do justice to in a shorter answer. Father Mark, can I tell a story? So Father Mark and I went to the seminary. We're contemporaries. I'm many, many years older than he is. But I still have it. I have a T-shirt. Father Mark organized for seminarians. It was a time when everyone was doing those 20K, which is funny because we only know miles, but then when we do kilometers, it always feels shorter than we feared. And so Father Mark came up with our Feast of St. Patrick 1K race. And we walked it, and many of us hoped we would finish. It brought great delight to the seminary community as we walked around the campus of the University of St. Thomas doing our 1K.
So, several times, Father Charlie mentioned the key to the unity is that sense of prayer. And without prayer, there's no unity. It's without prayer, the head and the body cannot come together. But it seems like a lot of times when we come to pray, at a parish council, or it's just kind of a short prayer, like, let's pray this so we can get on with squatting the knees. Instead of really coming before the Eucharistic presence of Jesus Christ, who unites our hearts and draws our hearts to Him. So can you maybe talk more about, you said it over and over again, we begin in prayer. What does that look like for you, for your experience with the head and the body united in Jesus Christ?
We did that. Notice how we began with morning prayer. It wasn't just me standing up here leading us in the Our Father and right into the talk. But we have to be patient because we have people who would like to spend the entire meeting in prayer. And we have the doers who, you know, if it's going to be a prayer group, we'll stay home and do some other projects because we're doers. So find a balance. This was a wonderful balance. We gathered with the bishop for morning prayer and then went into the work of the church. So I think each pastor and pastoral council needs to look at the balance. It'd be great if the people of the council said, sorry, Father, our prayers are too short. It would be great if pastors said, you know, sorry, people, we never get to our agenda because the prayer is too long. Can it be too long? There is work to do. And there's a wonderful story about a novice farther out west in Montana. And so he was told to trust in God, so he didn't tie up his horse, figuring he'd trust in God. And after he visited the chapel and prayer, he came out and the horse was gone. And then he went back to the novice director and said, I tried to trust in God and it didn't work. And the novice master said, well, tie up your horse and then trust in God. So sometimes we have to do both. We have to remember to tie up the horse as we trust in God. So find balance. For some people, you're going to do a form of Lectio Divina as part of the opening of a pastoral council. That takes about a half hour if you're doing it for the Sunday readings coming up. Others do more where gospel is shared and each person brings their spiritual insights to that gospel. Others will do a more formal setting that would be evening prayer, where people gather, do evening prayer, and then we get to the word. So it's difficult to do a one model fits all for this. It's really for pastor and their leadership to look at what is meaningful in prayer, recognizing its importance. The other thing is Sundays. It is making sure that the community sees lay leadership as part of the community as a whole in our Sunday masses. I know for larger parishes there are different masses and people get scattered. But maybe a couple times a year, if you don't do that already, have the lay leadership, particularly the pastoral and finance council members and trustees, visible and identified in the Sunday gathering of the people in prayer, so that we too may join into that mystical prayer to be elevated by the Holy Spirit through the Eucharist. But it's a balance.